see like what sorts of things maybe I can include to prove what sort of genre it is, because this is a romance genre. So I felt like the colours, the styles.
When you say not expecting the music video, is there like specific things you can sort of pick out?
Like you see a lot of like floating paper, they're floating in the air. Like it's a lot of things that you wouldn't typically expect to see.
Lots of extra effects.
Like extra effects that they've added that might be good to deconstruct as well.
Okay.
The sort of skills that like I kind of wanted to learn to particularly try and do for this is mainly using a gimbal, because I feel like that kind of shot in itself would be a very good one to do. Learning more about color grading would be quite fun to like expand my skill on, because I feel if I can color grade some shots to include, these would definitely help make it look more appealing. And especially if for some reason some of the lighting doesn't appear properly, I can make changes and tweaks if I need to. The first test shoot I definitely want to try and do before we break off to Easter is to do gimbal test shoot, and definitely want to try using slow motion, as it seems to me, I feel like slow motion is something that would be quite cool to see. And typically you don't expect to see slow motion in a music video, not like a romance music video, for example. And I feel like trying to use this on a gimbal would be quite a cool thing for me to learn 2 skills in one in a test shoot, which I want to do while in college so that I can have the support if I need it. The second test shoot is just to mess around with a bunch of lenses that I can, to see what sort of lens creates what sort of footage, what sort of shots you can do on what sort of lens, what would look better as a whole. So then when it comes to making the actual thing, I know what lens might be the best to capture in certain shots. My third test shoot is, it's more of a test edit. I want to be able to like try and expand on color grading and see what sort of things is available in Premiere Pro in terms of color grading. So I think playing around with the color grading as a test edit would be quite a cool little test thing for me to trial. The fourth and like final test shoot I'm planning to do for this is mainly to try the combination of a Canon M50 Mark 11 and a Canon 80D shoot. As learning, I want to see what this kind of combination can create as a thing, because I feel like shooting on both and trialing that in a music video would be something that would be quite interesting to see. The locations I mainly need is planning to shoot in the studio for performance elements, which is obviously accessible. Shooting in a field would have to be in a public space, either in Launceston or Bodmin, as those are the 2 places I'm going to be in my shooting. So, and weird thing to say, I'm hoping for some rain. As looking at some of the shoots where some people have done it in the rain, it looks really cool to trial and see if like rain makes the shoot look cool. It's a weird thing for people to say, but it's definitely something I definitely want to try.
Just make sure you consider about protecting your kit.
Obviously, yeah, that would be a main element for that.
And one thing with the field, just make sure, obviously, if you don't know who owns the field.
You want to be more...
Yeah, so you can't really use a field that you don't know who owns unless it's sort of more of a park area.
That's what I mean, like a public access field normally. In terms of performers, I'm planning to be like the main person who needs to be involved with it, and then my partner would be my like partner in the video, because I need that. The crew, while on location, would be me. However, my partner would be there if I need his support in terms of looking at how something looks, or like I can have him stand somewhere as I do it and like have a look. And in the studio, I would be able to have access to other support if I need it. But it would mainly be me. But this is mainly reliable, as I would be able to rely on them being there. I know that. Cinematography, like as I've stated before, the main skills I do need is different camera movements, shooting at different angles with different shot types. These skills are both something we've already practiced, and I definitely think that I can expand my knowledge on this by creating something like this. Other skills are needed are obviously using a gimbal, expanding my knowledge on color grading, learning more about footage and lenses, and that camera combination, which I've tried to allocate time to do in test shoots, so that I've still got enough time to film and edit and still get everything else done. slide's going to rotate me in a minute. The kit I'm mainly going to need are obviously the 2 cameras for the camera combination, a gimbal, a few different lenses, but the main ones would probably be a 50mm lens and an 18 to 35mm, and a normal kit lens, and obviously camera, batteries, anything else that would mainly be needed, which are all things we can gain either at the studio or we've got ourselves, like in terms of SD cards. Editing, the skills that are mainly needed for this is just being able to sync the lip syncing to the audio and putting all the footage where it needs to be, as well as being able to color grade, which are skills that I have as a basic knowledge, but would like to be able to also improve that in the editing itself. So by making my schedule, I've tried to allocate the time to both expand my knowledge and skills in Premiere Pro and still capture any footage that may be suggested to be needed when the music video is watched before screening it. I've made a rough pre-production schedule based off of the hand-in list we've been given. And overall, my idea is definitely feasible and is something that I would be able to complete in the time I've had due to the time I'm trying to allocate for myself, as hope to get the pre-production planning and everything that may need to be done before Easter done, and be able to spend Easter doing the research report we need to do, any test shoots I can do outside of college, and capture any main footage. My project's not overly ambitious, it's not, I'm going to the extreme levels of trying to add so much ambition to it. However, I think I'm definitely trying to do a lot of things that I would not normally do. I'm trying to step out of the comfort zones I've created since starting to try and give myself more build in terms of filming, being confident in front of a camera, because that's definitely not something I am, and being able to direct and film my own creation, which each are things I previously have done, but I feel could definitely be improved on during this. From previous units that we've done, I've learned I need to try and include so much more actual creation and gain confidence in my filming, which I don't have, as I've been told. I feel like I need to massively improve my editing, which is why I've decided on both a test edit as a test shoot rather than 4 different test shoots with different combinations, as I feel like these could also help improve the skills that I already have, but do them a lot differently and a lot better.
Cool, well done. I think, yeah, with all your test shoots being technical ones as well, you're definitely, it's ambitious for you to learn all of those new things and try and bring them all into that final outcome. So, yeah, the ambition is definitely there. I think the key is just making sure that you've got your locations set, so with making sure that you're allowed to use them. So with that field shot being a key one,